Peace, everyone. How you doing? Welcome to Israel Doctrines Google Hangout. I'm your host, Carl Labert, and you have now entered into the Hangout. And once again, I'm broadcasting live at Carl Labert, Israel Doctrine MCEO. Subscribe to the channel so you can keep up with the daily operation that goes on over here. And people, I'm doing this video tonight, which is entitled "Social Media Was Made for Info-Activism, Proper Propaganda." To those who truly understand, the word of God should be preached throughout the world. That was prophecy. The only way one could do that is to preach it somewhere, teach it, and disciple people as Jesus did in the Bible, and allow them to carry it to other individuals, other states, other towns, other country throughout the world. But in this day and time, info activism, because that's what the people was doing. They was active and bringing activism to, you know, their community in their time. This what the Bible's about. Jesus was a liberationist. He was trying to liberate the people spiritually and physically. But the physical didn't matter that much as the spiritual. So that's what activism is all about, people. Freeing people and trying to liberate people from false ideologies, false propaganda, false whatever, false people, and false hope. Just whatever you want to stick false on, right? And so therefore, the only way you could properly do that is to inform the people. And the only way you could inform the people is to be active. Notice the word active, activism. You have to be active. You have to be doing things, not just in word and tongue, but also in deed. So it ain't just about talking or, putting text out there. It's also about going out and doing those little things like seeing somebody hungry and feeding them, seeing somebody need some clothing and giving them some clothes, seeing somebody that need a roof over their head and providing that, or just visiting people, just being able to allow somebody to call you, you talk to them, and just be that shoulder to lean on. Call me when you need a friend. Call me, when you need a helping hand, when you need a shoulder to lean on. Back in the days, they had songs that addressed things like that. When a hero come along and things of that nature. So people, it is what it is. Y'all know me and what it is I stand for and deal with. I didn't want to come over here and get too long, so I'm gonna try to make it short and as brief as possible, because I find people out here trying to downplay being a journalist, being an activist, on social media and things like that. Like people are media hoes, or you know, um, whores for the spotlight or for the camera. But the thing is, you gotta get your information out there. So, if you go to a big time network, or if you go to a network that ain't about whatever, and you help building a network up, then you helping in the harlotry of social media. But you would claim that social media, you know what I'm saying, and those that deal with it on a daily basis is media whores. I think this is so um condescending to those who get out here every day or study or watch what's going on and try to report to the people that go work the 9 to 5s, flip burgers or whatever, and can't sit up and watch the daily events and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Do we call Dan Rallis, um, and other news journalists, media whores? Or do we say they broadcasting to us the daily news about what's going on? Do we call the weatherman, you know what I'm saying, a media whore because he want to give you the daily, you know what I'm saying, forecasts and stuff? Do we call the traffic people media whores because they get up and tell you where, you know, crashes and delays go on and stuff? So, I mean, I think, you know, when you're not doing the things that other people doing, you kind of downplaying. That's like, you know, I address people going out in the public and taking pictures and stuff, again, people some food and stuff. You know, y'all could try to come at me for that. Cool. I just deal with the Bible and say you ain't supposed to blow your trumpet when you do those things. But if you're doing those things and you affect somebody's life and they choose to come on camera on their YouTube and say, I was downtown today and I seen Carl, he was working with the people like he normally do. He was passing out stuff. And not that he was looking for a camera or had a camera following him when he did this, but I happened to whip out my phone just to capture it, to let the world know that this brother is out here doing something. Then that's a testimony from the people of what you're doing, not you trying to create that, even though we know in politics, people, you know, find themselves around a baby. Just so happen to be around a mother and a child and hold the child and kiss the child or play ball. You know what I'm saying? They just conveniently be at the hospital and visiting sick people. They haven't been at the hospital all year. But today, for some odd reasons, there's some cameras at the hospital or whatever, and they're at the hospital. What a coincidence. You know what I'm saying? So people, it is what it is. We got to be more astute to what's going on out here. You know, info-activism is the shit, if y'all don't know it. Hashtags, the shit, if y'all didn't know it. This is how you get your message around and centralized on social media, but yet it's decentralized because it could come from anywhere. You know what I'm saying? Somebody put hashtags Flint water and people talk about it all over the world. And you can get people from Japan or whatever, other activists, other people involved in the crime against humanity. They fellow brothers and sisters, no matter what their skin tone is. Because if someone would do an atrocity like that to a black man in America, or do an atrocity like that to a Japanese person in Japan, then know that if that person has that power and that type of rule and it can reach to your community, they'll do you the same way, because the oppressor is an oppressor, no matter what skin tone it is, and the ones that's being oppressed is being oppressed, no matter what skin tone they are in. So, you know, it's a such thing as a crime against humanity, and you have all nations sit down and look at it, and, you know, they take people to trial for it. But if you don't cry out against the crimes against humanity, no one would ever hear what's going on, because no one would ever hear your cry. You got to cry out. And the Bible talks about a woman that's, you know, raped. And it said because she cried out, it's no fault in her. She tried to stop it. She said no. No mean no, right? And the man forced himself anyway. But if the man grab her, take her, and she be smitten by the man and want him to, you know, or she wants to know him like that, and she don't cry out, but sees, you know, take it as a pleasurable thing, then she's guilty of the act as well as the man, because he didn't take it. She didn't cry out. She probably moaned and groaned and cried for. So this is how things work in a real world situation too. When you see brothers and sisters that's not crying out against atrocities of social justice, they not crying for social justice, then they crying for social injustice. I mean, they let me say it another way, not crying, but they applauding social injustice. You know what I'm saying? How is it someone could be doing something to someone and you don't crowd out against it. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, me myself, I cried about so much stuff that I can't handle everything. That's why I be looking for other people, that's out here seeing the atrocities and willing to cry out about it. You know what I'm saying? You can't do it. But the thing is, as y'all know how I like to say it, based up on biblical concept as well as just real world concept, right? I mean, it's universal. If you see something starting out and it's wrong and you cut it off there, it won't spread. It's like gangrene, right? You hurt your toenail come off or whatever, you diabetic or something. Next thing you know, you see fungus and stuff and your feet or your toe going green. You gotta go and cut it off. Because if you don't take care of it, then it spread to the other toe. Then it spread to the foot. Now it's up the leg. Now you about to die because it's gonna get in your bloodstream. And eventually you gonna die. So you have to cut these things off or amputate or purge when needed. And it's a lot of people guilty of not being active in situations and things that they evolved in this community. And then they grow. Now, this gangrene has set in and it's growing through the system and it's damn near out of control, right? You cannot sit back and not be inactive on social media platforms when the social media platform is what, is being used for propaganda. You got to bring the proper propaganda. You got to bring the info and let it be active in the community. And you have to speak out against the atrocities wherever you see them and whoever may be committing them. When you're not doing that, then once again, you applaud social injustice. You're not crying out against it. You must be for it. The people don't know if you agree with it or disagree with it because you're not informing them. And if you're a social leader and you for social justice, I guess it's justified because you're not speaking out against it to a person that's ignorant. And say, well, I think, let me ask Carl what he think about this happening. So even if you don't speak out against it and you put it in a position for someone else to speak out against it, that do speak out against things, you got to ask the question, meaning you still got to participate and show some activities or some concerns about things that's going on. So people, just pay attention to what people say out here. People say a lot, but I don't think people listen a lot to what people say. It's called analyzation. You got to analyze what they telling you and what they saying. Like I said, I cry out against a lot. I got my own oppression that comes against me, but things I see in the community, and I can't touch them all. You know what I'm saying? Can't touch them all. So you got to hit the big stuff. Once that get out the way, then they give you, it's just like cleaning up. You go clean up the messiest room and, you work your way down. You won't be so tired. But if you go clean up one room, and then you go to the other room, now you got even more trash in there. Say you might get through there and clean the two room. Now you go look, you see even more trash. Eventually you're going to become, I don't want to do this no more. But if you see yourself cleaning up a room, then you go clean up the next room and it's got less. Pretty soon you can take care of the whole house and it don't seem like a bother. But if every time you stepping up, it's getting bigger and bigger, rooms more dirtier, trash, you're not going to want to keep going up in volume. You want to go down. So don't let this stuff grow out of hand and then try to deal with all this. Get it at its base level. It's a lot of individuals that then gain a position in the community. You know what I'm saying? Off of folly and ignorance and craziness that other people have allowed them to get away with. you know, truly have allowed them to get away with it. And that's why everybody has to speak out when they see an atrocity going on. That's what you got to do, people. And that's what info activism is about. You see a video on YouTube or something, copy the link, put it on social media, and write your little comment about it. This brother right here, foul, he's wrong. Now, people may watch the video and they might get the hits, but eventually the people will leave them alone. You know why? Because they will see what it is that you said, and word of mouth, and you know, what they call it when people used to bully you into doing stuff. Your influence on others, whether you know it or not, have a lot to do with stuff. So when you speak negative about something that's negative, others will look at it, and if they influenced by your words and how you look on things, also they'll look at it negative. So once again, if you ain't speaking out against these atrocities, then you basically in cahoots with them, because the Lord said, warn the people that their blood may be off your hand. But if you sitting back ain't saying shit when shit is crazy and this and that, you know, then look how much blood you got on your hand now, because you ain't warning the people. And you know, I consider this a lot to go back to, you know, like I said, I was a Tupac disciple before I became a disciple of Jesus Christ, right? And I studied him and what he used to say and how he broke stuff down. And like he said about Ice Cube, you know what I'm saying? Ice Cube hit him up, then he went and made Bow Down. And it's like, you weren't making people bow down before you heard hit him up and was like, oh, that's how you do it. You know? So to the people that's been out here fighting for, you know, a year or two now against banging on the beast that's, you know, running loose in the community, or trying to eat people up in the community and attack people, you know, the wild dogs that's protecting that beast and different stuff, and all this propaganda and craziness going on. The frontline soldiers, I should say. Shout out to them. You know what I'm saying? Because they've been out here putting in the work, but now you got Johnny come latelys, you know what I'm saying? And after people then took their blows and hits and, you know, soften them up, you know what I'm saying? It's easy to come through still on somebody at the end of the fight and be like, look, I knocked him out. Damn it, I've been fighting with him forever. Shit, I'm tired, they tired. And now you come in and you want to be the glory hole. You know what I'm saying? Man, I can't respect it, people. So for those that comprehend or know what I'm talking about, kudos. You know what I'm saying? Kudos. For those that don't, you know, go ask somebody. Maybe they'll inform you. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they'll inform you. But people, it is what it is, man. Those that know about the atrocities and stuff and don't speak out, the blood of the people that has got caught up in this mess or even lost their faith and everything else, their blood is on your hand. So with that said, I'm out. So peace, y'all. Subscribe, share, speak, positive, negatively. It doesn't even matter. The thing is, dialogue need to be had. You know what I'm saying? And that's what most people are afraid of. That's why you still got the beef and the division, because when Moors have to deal with dirty Moors or other Moors and make sure they acting right, they don't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? When Hebrew Israelites got to make sure other Hebrew Israelites doing right, they don't want to do that. They don't want to take care of house. Comedics, they don't want to take care of house. They want to live under the false illusion that the problem is him, that one over there, them Hebrews. Nah, the problem with the Moors. Nah, the problem with the Kemetic people. and they want to blame people outside of their own house or their own circle. They don't want to deal with in-house stuff. They want to go to other people's house and try to tell them how to run their house. When it's like, look at your house. Look at your brother over there. He's selling drugs out the house. Look at your sister. She over there hoeing herself. Look at the children. They crack babies or whatever. Look at your house. But then you want to go to the next man's house and tell him what he needs to do with his house. No, clean your own house up. Once you clean your house up, now you and your fam can clean the community up. Go out and help other people. Because, you know, y'all on one accord and everything taken care of and everything, you know. So, people, that's what it is. Once again, I was finna say peace. I thought I'd run some more down. But that's what it is, man. I'm out. I'm finna go to sleep. I've been up late couple nights now. 8 o'clock my bedtime. So, I'm gonna say peace.